Grytviken is a settlement in the British territory of South Georgia in the South Atlantic. It was so named in 1902 by the Swedish surveyor Johan Gunnar Andersson, who found Old English try pots used to render seal oil at the site. It is the best harbour on the island, consisting of a bay within a bay. The site is quite sheltered, provides a substantial area of flat land suitable for building, and has a good supply of fresh water. History Carl Anton Larsson The settlement at Grytviken was established on November 16, 1904, by the Norwegian sea captain Carl Anton Larsson as a whaling station for his company ± Argentina de Pesca. It was phenomenally successful, with 195 whales taken in the first season alone. The whalers used every part of the animals the blubber, meat, bones and viscera were rendered to extract the oil, and the bones and meat were turned into fertilizer and fodder. Elephant seals were also hunted for their blubber. Around 300 men worked at the station during its heyday, operating during the southern summer from October to March. A few remained over the winter to maintain the boats and factory. Every few months a transport ship would bring essential supplies to the station and take away the oil and other produce. The following year the Argentine government established a meteorological station. Carl Anton Larsson, the founder of Grytviken, was a naturalized Briton born in Sandøyet, Norway. In his application for British citizenship, filed with the British Magistrate of South Georgia and granted in 1910, Captain Larsson wrote, "I have given up my Norwegian citizens' rights and have resided here since I started whaling in this colony on the 16th November 1904 and have no reason to be of any other citizenship than British, as I have had and intend to have my residence here still for a long time." His family in Grytviken included his wife, 3 daughters and 2 sons. As the manager of Company ± Argentina de Pesca, Larsson organized the construction of Grytviken, a remarkable undertaking accomplished by a team of 60 Norwegians between their arrival on November 16 and commencement of production at the newly built whale oil factory on December 24, 1904. Larsson chose the whaling station site during his 1902 visit while in command of the ship Antarctic of the Swedish Antarctic expedition led by Otto Nordenskjöld paragraph LD. On that occasion, the name Grytviken was given by the Swedish archaeologist and geologist Johan Gunnar Andersson, who surveyed part of Thatcher Peninsula and found numerous artifacts and features from Sialesa unregistered trademark habitation and industry, including a shallop and several trypots used to boil seal oil. One of those trypots, having the inscription Johnson & Sons, Wapping Dock, London unregistered trademark, is preserved at the South Georgia Museum in Grytviken. Managers and other senior officers of the whaling stations often had their families living together with them. Among them was Fridtjof Jacobsen, whose wife Clara Eilert Jacobsen gave birth to 2 of their children in Grytviken. Their daughter Sylvia Gunbjarg Jacobsen was the first child ever born south of the Antarctic Convergence, on October 8, 1913. Several more children have been born on South Georgia, recently even aboard visiting private yachts. The whale population in the seas around the island was substantially reduced over the following 60 years until the station closed in December 1966, by which time the whale stocks were so low that their continued exploitation was unviable. Even now, the shore around Grytviken is littered with whale bones and the rusting remains of whale oil processing plants and abandoned whaling ships. Shackleton Grytviken is closely associated with the Anglo-Irish explorer Ernest Shackleton. Shackleton's most famous expedition set out from London on August 1, 1914, to reach the Weddell Sea on January 10, 1915, where the pack ice closed in on their ship, the Endurance. The ship was broken by the ice on October 27, 1915. The 28 crew members managed to flee to Elephant Island, off Antarctica, bringing 3 small boats with them. Shackleton and 5 other men managed to reach the southern coast of South Georgia in the James Caird. They arrived at Cave Cove, and camped at Peggotty Bluff, from where they trekked to Stromness on the northeast coast. From Grytviken, Shackleton organized a rescue operation to bring home the remaining men. He again returned to Grytviken, but posthumously. In 1922 he had died unexpectedly from a heart attack at the beginning of another Antarctic expedition. His widow chose South Georgia as his final resting place. His grave is located south of Grytviken, alongside those of whalers who had died on the island. On November 27, 2011, the ashes of Frank Wild, Shackleton's right-hand man, were interred on the right side of Shackleton's gravesite. The inscription on the rough-hewn granite block set to mark the spot reads Frank Wild 1873–1939, Shackleton's right-hand man. Wild's relatives and Shackleton's only granddaughter, the Honourable Alexandra Shackleton, attended a service conducted by the Reverend Dr. Richard Hines, rector of the Falkland Islands. The writer Angie Butler discovered the ashes in the vault of Braamfontein Cemetery, Johannesburg, while researching her book The Quest for Frank Wild. She said his ashes will now be where they were always supposed to be. It just took them a long time getting there. Falklands War equals. During the Falklands War, Grytviken was captured by Argentine forces in early April 1982 following a brief battle with British Royal Marines. The Royal Marines, SAS and SBS retook the settlement 3 weeks later without a shot being fired in return. Supported by the corvette ARA Grytviken on April 3, 1982, the ARA Bahia Paraíso landed a party of Argentine Marines who attacked a platoon of 22 Royal Marines deployed at Grytviken. The 2-hour battle resulted in the ARA Grytviken being damaged and an Argentine Puma helicopter shot down. The Argentine forces sustained 3 men killed and a similar number of wounded, with 1 wounded on the British side. The British commanding officer Lieutenant Keith Mills was awarded a Distinguished Service Cross for the defence of South Georgia. While the British magistrate and other civilians and military present in Grytviken were removed from South Georgia, another 15 Britons remained beyond Argentine reach. The losses suffered at Grytviken prevented Argentina from occupying the rest of the island, with Bird Island Base, and field camps at Schlieper Bay, Lyell Glacier and St Andrews Bay remaining under British control. On April 25, the Royal Navy damaged and captured the Argentine submarine ARA Santa Fe at South Georgia. The Argentine garrison in Grytviken surrendered without returning fire. The following day the detachment in Leith Harbour commanded by Captain Alfredo Astas also surrendered. Finally, the Argentine personnel were removed from the South Sandwich Islands by HMS Endurance on June 20. Due to evidence of an unauthorized visit, the closed station Corba to Uruguay was destroyed in January 1983. Current situation. Along with the surrounding area, the station has been declared an area of special tourist interest. Grytviken is a popular stop for cruise ships visiting Antarctica, and tourists usually land to visit Shackleton's grave. The South Georgia Museum is housed in the manager's house of the former whaling station, and is open during the summer tourist season. The station's church is the only building which retains its original purpose, and is still used occasionally for services. There have been several marriages in Grytviken, the first being registered on February 24, 1932, between A.G.N. Jones and Vera Riches, more recently on February 19, 2006, between Peter W. Demisch and Leslie J. Friesem, and most recently on November 18, 2009, between Remco Masmeijer and Sabine Lokin from the Netherlands, who are said to be the 12th couple ever to get married here. On January 28, 2007, a service was conducted in remembrance of Anders Hansen and to celebrate his great-great-grandson Axel Wattreid's baptism occurring in Oslo, Norway, the same day. Geography. Climate. In popular culture, the church and abandoned whaling station at Grytviken make an appearance in the 2006 Oscar-winning feature film, Happy Feet. Gallery. See also, History of South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands, King Edward Point, South Georgia Museum, Carl Anton Larsen, Solveig Gunbjarg Jacobsen. References. External links, Britain's Small Wars, The Argentine Invasion of South Georgia.